Hey guys, welcome back to our Redhawks Dynasty. Redhawks first the Ball State Cardinals in this one. Another MAC conference game. This should be a good matchup for us. Both sitting at 3-5 on the current season. And if we could get a win here, we'd go a long way, giving us a good chance to have a shot at a bowl game. As we'll take this one out, Lionel Billip Williams will take it out to the 22-yard line. The last time this rivalry game happened, our Redhawks won 17-15. But here we are on the first play of the game. We're going to be handing it off to Keon Mozzie, who has some space, and he spins upfield and makes a huge play down to the 40-yard line. Keon Mozzie with a great run right out the gate. He was fantastic last week for us. Oh, we couldn't get past our left guard or else it was Crib. Very unfortunate with that one. As this time we'll throw it, and it's into the lineman's head. Gonna be a 3rd down and 7. Dumping it off. Little gain from Keon Mozzie, breaking tackles, and he gets a 1st down to the 40. Just a really good gain. As instead we'll throw it behind the safety, and it's a huge gain for Javon Tracy. As we are just absolutely driving down this field right now. Out to Keon Mozzie. Gets a big hit from the corner, but gains 5. 2nd down. Throwing it quick out to Keon Mozzie, who has some speed, and he's in for the touchdown. What a play. Brett Gabbard just getting it to our star. And Keon Mozzie getting down the field and putting us up very early against Ball State. And this offense is cooking right now. But it's time to see what our defense can do. Can we hold this Ball State team to a lower amount of points? As immediately with the jet touch, those one got to beat. Super glad we were able to have Ty Wise get to the outside and contain that. That could have been a very bad thing for us. They're going to go do the same thing again. Just going to get about a yard this time to force the 3rd down situation. And perfectly done. Caleb Tubbs is going to be there just in time to make the stop, and it's a 4th down situation. So we'll go back to the ground game. I mean, kind of looks like they're starting to fill up this box a little bit. Keon Mozzie's going to bounce outside and then cut back in for a good 8-yard gain. Trying to work on getting them to just load up this box for the most part. Oh, man. We really had a great opportunity there to bust a huge gain. But instead, we'll just run up the middle again and another 1st down for Keon Mozzie. We want to go to play action fake at some point here, but we're going to keep going on the ground game for a bit until they learn how to stop it. Keon Mozzie getting another 10-yard gain, and we're out midfield. 1st and 10, play action fake. Just barely gets it off. Barely gets it off. Definitely not ideal. So if we can motion that guy over. And there we go. Get a run. No. What a play by the linebacker. 3rd down and 11. Throwing it beautifully done. Right over top of the linebacker and a 1st down. Huge play. I mean, it's kind of tough to throw this thing any better than Brett Gabbard just threw there with a guy barreling down on him. Throws it right over top of the linebacker and falls in before both of those safeties can have a chance for it. Great throw. 1st and 10, back on the ground game. Getting the linebacker out there in space. Keon Mozzie fighting for our yards, and he's down to the 5. 1st and goal. Scrambling out with it. Nobody open. Just going to have to throw it out of bounds. Bringing up a 2nd down situation. Runs it off to Mozzie. Nobody there either. 3rd and goal. Gonna play action fake it, and he's gonna fumble the ball. Couldn't even throw it out of bounds, and he just fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by Ball State. Wow. That is not how we wanted that one to go. Trying to fool him with a play action fake. Nobody was fooled in the slightest. And there wasn't anybody open. He's got to learn to, whenever he just goes down and gives himself up like that, he has to also not fumble the ball. Good hit on the running back for a gain of 3. But at the end of the 1st quarter, it's still a 7-0 lead for the Redhawks. But is this going to be one of those games that Brett Gabbert is on his off day? It might be. We'll see. 2nd down and 7. Going to be throwing the... No, it's a RPO, actually, and he's going down. Really, really big loss on the play, bringing up a 3rd and 11 now. As he throws that one, and it's a great deflection from Michael Yarbrough. Brings up a punt situation. Michael Yarbrough has been the man for us as of the last game or so. Gonna motion over our receiver and motion snap it out to Keon Mozzie. Gains about 4. We're just gonna try to keep feeding the rock. And wow, that was blown up terribly. So it's 3rd and 8. Throwing quick, tight end, 4th and inches. We gotta no huddle that. Gotta go no huddle on that. See if we can just immediately go get that inside zone. And Keon Mozzie will get the 1st down. Great call. Would have loved to see him leave the field right now. Oh, wow. He covers both of us as we lose 3 yards on 2nd down, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and long. And good play. Out to Keon Mozzie, who gets a nice 10-yard gain, and it's manageable. Perfect. I wanted to definitely see Kenny Tracy in on here, as we're going to run this off to him, and he's just going to bowl his way forward for a 1st down. Moving the chains. They are stacking this box right now. Not a huge fan of that, but we'll dump it off. Tight end quick. 4 yards. I mean, sometimes it's really just a matter of finding the open guy. Can he get it off? Gets it to Reggie Virgil, who gets the cutback, and we're down to the 15-yard line. So 1st down. Throwing it incomplete. Great play by the safety. We didn't see him at all. Really, really good play by the safety there. See if we can motion over a guy, make a trip set, and then run it off with Keon Mozzie. Gets about 2 yards there. Might be a little bit ballsy here, but it's kind of a safer play. Running out with him. Gonna try to run with it. Gets a few yards to 4th and 4. And we will just be content to settle with 3 points. The kick is up, and it is good. And we're going to take the 10-0 lead with 2.5 minutes left in the half. Good drive and just good to at least put points up to go up by 2 scores. These 5-minute drives have kind of been our bread and butter so far in the middle half of the season, once we kind of had a stern talking to our offense about turning the ball over. And kind of once we started migrating to that type of offense and game plan, it's been working pretty well for us. Huge hit from Matt Slopek, gain of 5. Might call a little bit of a blitz here. See if we can drop some people back into coverage with some of these adjustments, just to make it a little bit more tough. Wow, big hit from Brian Ugwu, but they still hold on. We even put that guy in coverage on purpose. Are they going to be able to get the snap off? They will. And he's just going to run right to Ty Wise for no gain. 2nd down and 8. Going to be throwing it at the feet of their star tight end, incomplete. 3rd down and 8. Quick throw to the tight end. He's not going to get the 1st. Excellent job. Timeout called, as it's going to be a big decision for Ball State here. Timeout a little bit gutsy, but there's still 1:49 left. So, okay, they did not go forward on 4th, which is good. So we'll start at the 16. Good punt. All right, 1st down play. And he's just going to barely get rid of it in time. Pressure was really, really good from Ball State to get some hands on him. Cade McDonald get not much. Timeout called. All right, 3rd and 7. Looks like a little zero coverage. Oh, we would have had a touchdown if he wouldn't have deflected it. Oh, my goodness. That is just a very bittersweet end to that drive. Definitely could have been a 1-play touchdown. And it's right at Matt Slopek. What a play from the star linebacker. Threw it right at him. And he is going to hold on to it. Is Matt Slopek coming alive now? Did he actually start making some plays? 1st and 10. Gonna throw this thing over the middle to Cade McDonald for a couple yards. 2nd down and 3 now. Throwing that one, and it's underthrown. Good deflection. 3rd down and 3. Gonna throw that one right on the money, and he drops it. Oh my gosh. OC wants us to go for it. Not sure how I feel about it. Right now we can't catch anything to save our lives, so that doesn't help. Has to just get rid of it. Nobody really open there. And not sure how I like that. Not sure how I like going for it there. As that is kind of an open guy, but he overthrew him by a lot. So, I mean, we'll take it from the overthrow. Throwing that one, and it was right at Slopek again, but it's a deflection for Yarborough. 3rd down and 10. Running with it. Quarterback gets drilled. It's a 1st down, though. The one time we don't have some sort of contain out there is the time that he makes us pay for it. And that one is almost intercepted by Ugwo. It's 2nd down now. 2nd and 10. Going to scramble out with the QB again, and he gets a few yards. Timeout called. And they're going to be going for a long field goal. Kick is up, and it is drilled. What a kick from Ball State's kicker right there. Dang. From the middle logo. I think we just kind of take a look and see what we can see here. Has a chance for a deep shot, but nothing doing there. Just airs it out, and we'll go to the half. At halftime, it's 10-3. Miami. Keon Mozzie having himself another good day. 81 yards on the ground here in the first half and a touchdown. Keeping that touchdown streak alive and well. So we'll kick it off to start the second half, as Ball State needs a touchdown here for sure. They really have not had the easiest time trying to move the ball on us. Going to run the ball, and he is going to go down for a loss, and there might be a flag too. Looks like holding tacked on as well. We're going to go ahead and accept that. It's going to bring it to a 1st and 20. They're going to get basically nothing. 2nd and long. Looks like they have a screen play. It's a great call, to be honest. That's a really, really good call for zone coverage. Brings it to a 3rd and 2, and they're going to be going no huddle. I feel like we have the personnel for pressing this. We'll see if we do or not. It is going to be a run, and they're going to get the first. Brendan Salone making the play that he needs to make to continue to move the chains. Going really for about nothing there as well. Just another 3-yard gain. I love when it lets you try to pick a play and all of a sudden it goes turbo mode. That's just one of my favorites. 2nd down. Going no huddle. And he goes down anyway. Corey Subtle subtly sneaks in the backfield and brings him down. And it's 3rd down now. Looks like a wide receiver screen. And somehow not picked up by us on the fumble. Okay. Went right at Ty Wise, who just did a lunging dive. Corey Subtle took a beating on that one, though. So we'll have to take Corey Subtle out of the game for the rest of this game and let Ethan McDowell come out instead. We have a little bit of a lead. Hopefully we don't need to have Subtle, but he does make a big difference out there. So back out on offense to start the first possession for us in the second half, as we're just going to have a nice run out there to Cade McDonald for 6 yards. Try to basically mix in a bunch of these little run plays, as they've been super effective for us. Keon Mozzie getting the 1st down. On 1st and 10, try one of these outside runs. And instead, Keon's going to just get 6 yards out of it. Good play for him. Sometimes those just end terribly, but instead it kind of seemed like it ended pretty well for him. I have a feeling this might be some pressure here, as we're ending up going to throw it. No, we overthrew him. It was a touchdown. Oh, no. Brett Gabbert definitely had him there. Instead, he's going to underthrow him. 2 straight horrific throws from Brett Gabbert, and it's going to be a punt. Jeez. I mean, we had a touchdown on the one, and yeah, that's just terrible. We can't be doing that for trying to close out some of these games. Oh, and the bounce was not very good. Downs them out at the 20. So we're going to send some pressure on first down. They're going heavy. They have 2 tight ends out here. We're going to try to match that by just going all out. And that works to perfection as they lose 3. We've tried to be a little bit more aggressive on early downs, and it does seem to be making a difference for us. Second down situation now. Dumping it off, and Matt Slopek all over it. No gain. Just really, really good. Third down and long now. Throwing it right at Matt Slopek, who gets his second interception of the game. Matt Slopek is all over this Ball State offense. All over it. As he gets another interception off of a great baited pick. First and 10. Dropping back, and he can't get away from the pressure. Another huge sack. 13-yard sack. That is not an ideal sack, to say the least. Great play, though, from the jet touch, and he's going to get almost all of it back. Here we are on 3rd and 9. Throwing it deep. It is caught for the touchdown. What a throw to Javon Tracy. Had him on a press assignment, and Javon Tracy beats the press in a perfect throw for Brett Gabbert to bust the score open 17-3. What a throw to Javon Tracy. That was right on the money. So this is that's a big difference here. Going up by 14 points now. Can we get another stop? Gonna be throwing this out to the outside, and Ty Wise just absolutely decks him. What a wild play there. They tried it. And that is almost intercepted by Caleb Tubbs. Great jump on the ball. QB just a step late. Throwing it, and it's knocked down by the D-tackle. We put one of our D-tackles on a spy, so he would just drop back in coverage in case they ran with it. And it was perfect because he dropped back right where they threw that pass. First and 10. Throwing it right at him, and he drops it again. Javon Tracy. Sometimes Brett throws a pretty pass, but it doesn't always get caught. That's the problem. Keelan's going to get about 2 yards on the run. 3rd down and 8. A little gutsy of a call here. Throwing it back across his body. Out to Keon Mozzie in space, who gets a huge gain on a late throw. What a play from Brett Gabbert to get the ball out to his star. Waited for everyone to leave and then made him pay hard. We're only going to get a yard to Kenny. 2nd down now. Throwing it, and Keon's going to drop it. It was definitely a late read, so it was not the best decision in the world. But it definitely was a catchable pass. That is not going to be a catchable pass, as it was way overthrown. And we'll settle for the maybe field goal. 54, though? Really? Well, here we go. Kick is up, and not quite. That would have to be basically a perfect kick. 1st and 10. See what they got this time. It's going to be a run. Who's going to get hammered by Eli Blakey. As we'll come here to the end of the 3rd quarter. 17-3. Still our score. Ball State with the ball, trying to get a drive together. Hey, look at that. Miami's #1 in the country. Love to see that, but not that we played and lost to them in the first week of the season. So there's about 8 minutes left that we have to stay in shape here. And barely gets the open field tackle. Wow. We might just call a blitz here. I have a feeling they're probably going to run it. They are going to run it. That has been what's working for them right now. They get 5 more yards out of it. Seems like now we have a decent opportunity to be able to go regular coverage. And they will make the catch, but not get the first. So bringing everybody up. Going to throw it to a wide open tight end. Dang. Tried to have good coverage. Just couldn't quite do it. Instead, throwing that one, and he overthrew him. No good. Haven't really heard or seen anything from Christian McKinney in a while. He's out on the field right now. It's normally Ty Wise and Matt Slopek, both linebackers getting in on the action. But there's Christian McKinney getting a tackle. Throwing it, caught on 1st and goal. Try to play a little press here. Not afraid to do it. 2nd and goal. Running with the QB. Gets about a yard or 2. Gonna go press. We don't want him to just be able to run with it. But the running back will be able to run with it, and he's in for a free touchdown. We even tried to pinch the line, everything inside, but it didn't really matter. He wanted it more, and they are in for a touchdown. So the kick will be underway. 5 minutes left in this game, as we'll start at the 20. The job here for this offense is to run the ball, milk the clock, and get out of it. So we'll get 4 yards. Try to motion our guy over. Get a direct snap to Keon Mozzie. Gets a few yards, and it's 3rd down. 3rd down and 2. Keon Mozzie to the outside. Gets a 1st down. Loading the box on 1st down. Gonna hit him with a counter. And we're gonna get 8 yards on the run. Keon Mozzie really just taking the team on his back right now. And helping us get some yards. If we lose a few, that's a huge, huge play for them. All right, 3rd down. Throwing it, and it's going to get intercepted. That's an insane coverage. That's insane coverage. He's still on his feet somehow. That's immaculate coverage. It looked like Reggie Virgil was going to absolutely annihilate him off the cut. And instead, he runs into the corner, and it gets intercepted. That's super unfortunate. Super, super unfortunate. If he has any better route running at all, that's a massive play. Instead, it's really, really sloppy route running. And that could lead to a tie game. That is not what you want to see. Immediate throw, 4 yards on it. We'll go down to the 2-minute warning. I am not going to be able to get over how bad that route running was. I hope that is not a reason that this game would end the way it does. Run up the middle, losing a yard. If I didn't know any better, it almost seems like they are really trying to legit actually run the clock out. And they're going to get him with a false. They're going to get him with an offsides. So 3rd and 2. Throwing it to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Ball State. What a play and what a route. Beating Rayon Strader, our #1 corner, to potentially tie the game with a 1.5 minutes left. It's not ideal. Not ideal. Extra point is up and good, and it is a tie game with a 1.5 minutes left. Apparently just shouldn't have gone with the pass on that one play where the interception happened. We're going to go right out immediately with a screen pass. It's been our bread and butter so far. And, nope, it was covered up pretty well. So we'll go to 2nd down. 2nd down and 10 now. Throwing it. And it's going to be intercepted. No shot. No chance that gets tipped and intercepted. Wow. Yep, just let him score. Unbelievable. Literally had him wide. It wasn't even wide open, but literally had him open enough that it could have been a touchdown if it was a better throw. That sucks. Really, really bad. Alright, so here we go. Throwing it deep. First play, caught in a massive gain. Timeout called for Miami. What a throw to Javon Tracy. 1st and 10. Throwing that one, it is knocked incomplete. 2nd down. Did he beat him? He did! And it's caught for a touchdown! What a throw to Javon Tracy! And we're right back on it. A few plays later, a dime to Javon Tracy. Brett Gabbert it was a horrible looking throw though. But wow, was that a dime. So the score's all tied back up. 36 seconds left. Really thought we might have been out of that one for a minute there, as that was not looking good. It's still not over. 36 seconds, it is not over. Throwing in right into interception. It's going to be picked off. And it could be a huge return. He's down to the 6. What a play. TJ Rush getting his first interception of the season in the biggest time it could possibly be. Oh my gosh. It was a terrible throw. If you think we're throwing this ball, crazy. Keon Mozzie getting a few yards. We'll let that run down. And then we're just going to call a timeout and kick our field goal. We are not doing anything dumb here. Oh, he might be iced. Oh, but we made it. Okay. Woo! For a minute, I thought we might have missed that one. Oh my, but the game-winning field goal from Dom, as we actually did it. We pulled off the win. We were up 14 points on Ball State. They came all the way back to take the lead, and we were able to somehow pull that one out. I have no idea how we pulled it out, but 27-24. A huge rival win against our rival arch nemesis Ball State in the Red Bird rivalry. Javon Tracy making some of the biggest catches of the season there with about a minute and a half left in the game. But defense held them to 169 total yards of offense. That's actually really, really solid. Brett Gabbert, 15 for 34, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not a good day for him. I mean, he got out of it with the win, but it was not a good day. Rushing, Keon Mozzie, 23 carries, 115 yards on the ground. Did not get a touchdown, so that's a little bit sad. Streak is broken for the amount of touchdowns he was getting every single week. But he had 63 yards in the air and had a touchdown, so if you count that. But 4 catches for 53 for Cade McDonald. And 4 catches, 126 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the man, the myth, the legend, Javon Tracy. Tackling leader, tie between Eli Blakey and Ty Wise. Corey Suttle got 4 TFLs, so he ties the record from last week for TFLs in a game. 1.5 sacks for him, and a half sack for Nazir Washington and Kobe Hilton. 2 interceptions for Matt Slopek, that was wild. And 1 for TJ Rush, which was the biggest interception so far this season, probably. So we finally level up our coach again. Having this on the slowest is not ideal. Debating on what we want to spend these points on. I don't know if we really need, at this point, the increased weekly recruiting hours. I think the best bet's probably going to be helping us with some scouting for down the road. So I'm thinking we need to go O-line for scouting and probably linebackers. Corey Suttle wins the MAC Defensive Player of the Week. And with that last win, I mean, we're up to 4-5 on the current season. It's not great, but it's better than it was when it was 2-5. And we're also at 3-2 in conference play. That's the big kicker here, because that puts us right in the heat down the stretch for being able to make the conference championship game. Not that it's likely, but there are 3 other teams that are 4-5. Actually, 4 other teams that are 4-5. And a decent amount of them are 3-2 in conference play. So it's really all about tiebreakers down the stretch, considering Eastern Michigan beat us. But we have some big games left. Kent State's not a super important game, but it is a MAC game, so that does make it at least to a degree important. But Northern Illinois and Bowling Green are both 2 teams that are ahead of us in the standings, and 2 teams that could definitely make the MAC championship game. So looking at recruiting for the next week, Tony Purdom getting just closer and closer. I think we're holding him off. It's currently about to be week 12. Our game against Kent State is on week 12, so it's this current week. And we're almost into the top 3 stage. And so we should be really, really, really close to signing him at the end of that week, especially if we win, let alone win by a decent margin. It's kind of be probably pretty similar to what we did with Eric Fenix. Jalen Smith, though, that one's going to be sketchy. That's definitely going to be sketchy because USC is gaining a lot, and it's their visit week. So we're 50-50 on whether we just want to drop it all in general, but there's not really anyone else we're really fighting for. So at this point, we can kind of just leave it for the off chance that they maybe lose their game and we win ours. But we have a visit up officially on Alani Ursua for week 12. Should pretty much guarantee that we're going to be in a great spot to be able to get him. Zach Scoble, we ended up putting a visit on for week 13 and added a little bit more hours onto him, so we'll be doing 50 now instead of 35. With that visit scheduled and nothing else scheduled for this week for week 12, I mean, we're going to put ourselves in a really good situation to maybe get him also. We did some scouting on middle linebackers with some of the extra points we did, and we found a 90 speed, 91 excel linebacker with 76 zone coverage and a nice pursuit too. Jalil Reshad, I still feel like we have a great chance to get him. I mean, there's really nothing Florida State can even do about it at this point because it's our visit week this week. And he'll be really nice to have with 90 speed out there for a run support guy. But been pretty pleased with how the team's been performing as of the last week to 2 weeks. Definitely almost gave away that game, though, against Ball State. But we didn't, so there's that. But we almost did. So we definitely have to tighten that up because that was a big scare. And a better team would definitely have won that. So we don't want to put ourselves in another situation like that ever again. We just got to continue to play cleaner football. And it might just come with the territory once we get a better quarterback and some more skill players that it'll happen a little more naturally. But Michael Yarborough, some of the defensive players, Matt Slopek had a great game. Those guys were really stepping it up. We've been allowing a whole lot less points and a whole lot less yards the last 2 weeks than we have for the whole first half of the season. So that's something to definitely look forward to. That's hopefully just going to continue to go up. And with the recruits that we're signing, it really can only get better. I'm interested to see which of the recruits you guys are super excited to be able to try out because we might have potentially a lot of them, especially if we end up actually getting like 2 of those 4-star receivers, maybe 3, but probably just 2. We'll have a new quarterback coming in as well, and most likely 2 offensive linemen. Like, that's going to be a whole new offense. And then on defense, we might get a defensive tackle and a corner and a safety. I mean, that's a lot of pieces even for a defense for all 4 stars whenever this team's not really used to having any 4 stars. All in all, I think it'd be a pretty good win for the team as a whole if we got all those 4 stars. But we'll be playing against Kent State in our next matchup. Should be another one kind of similar to Ball State that hopefully we're able to just play well, make the moves that we need to, make the plays we need to, and capitalize on it so we can get a win. A win in this game would draw us back to even, which would put us in a fantastic spot at 5-5 to be able to just have to win one of our last 3 games, 2 or 3 games, to be able to make a bowl game and to get closer to winning our goal for our coach, because that's also going to be a big, big thing if we hit that goal. But I don't think we have to get to specifically 8 wins, but I think if we get close enough, they won't fire us anyway. And being at 4 wins right now, hopefully should have gotten us out of being in the hot seat. But yeah, that is about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be continuing on in the next video, but until then, why don't you check out one of these ones.